So last week I did my entire MCU Steelbook collection. This week I decided to kind of even out the scales. I'm going to do my entire DCEU collection. But then as I was getting my DCEU Blu-rays together, I'm like, okay, that's a small pile. There's not a lot there to talk about. So I said, you know what, I'm just going to do my entire DC collection now. Looking at it, though, it still isn't as much as I have in my entire MCU collection because I don't think I haven't really got a lot of DC movies. Personally, I just prefer Marvel movies. I prefer Marvel characters. I think Superman, Batman, I love all those characters. But personally, I'm just more of a Marvel guy. I always kind of have been more of a Marvel fanboy. But this still is my entire DC collection. If next week I'm thinking about doing my entire non-MCU movies, again, all the X-Men movies, all the Spider-Man movies, I got all those kind of movies. I'm thinking about doing that video for next week. So if you want to see that kind of video, do click that subscribe button. But anyways, let's go on to all my DC collection. To kick off my DC collection, I do have Batman vs Superman with a case that for some reason it's like this. I would have preferred if it was same direction, but anyways, for the Batman side, I could display it on the Batman side. I just prefer this movie. I think the Ultimate Edition is 100% better than the actual theatrical cut. The theatrical cut is a complete mess. It makes no sense. I don't really understand it. Remember the first time I seen it, I fell asleep in the cinema and I had to go back and see it again. But then when it came in Blu-ray, I actually picked it up day one of release just because I wanted to see the theatrical or the Ultimate Edition, see if it made more sense. And it made a lot more sense, and I actually enjoyed it a lot more. I don't like Lex Luthor. I think his kind of character arc and Jesse Eisenberg's performance in it is really weird, and it doesn't really fit this movie at all. But Batman, I think Ben Affleck, I think he's my favourite Batman. I really enjoy Ben Affleck as an actor, and him as Batman, I really enjoyed. I would love him to get him as a Batman in the Batman movie, directed by Ben Affleck. We got Henry Cavill as well. I enjoy him as Superman. He's not my favourite. Christopher Reeve is my Superman, but I think he is really good. As well, we do have the introduction of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. To follow that up, I do have The Dark Knight. Now, I haven't seen the Dark Knight trilogy in probably about 4 years or so, and my opinion on it is probably really outdated, and I can't really remember. So I'm gonna rewatch these movies and do a ranking of them throughout this kind of quarantine situation, just because I haven't seen them in so long, and I want to update my opinion on them because my opinion is probably it's an opinion I had 4 years ago, so it could be changed, it could be different, so I don't really know. So I'm not really going to give my opinion on these movies just because it's going to be really outdated. But I remember when I was looking for this movie, I made sure to get one with a really cool case, because the generic one was the one with Batman and the flames in the back, and it makes a bat symbol in the tower, and I think it's a cool poster. But I just wanted something better, so I decided to go for the Joker. Looking at Heath Ledger is just, he's phenomenal in the movie. I seen him in actually 10 Things I Hate About You a week or so ago, and it's so weird to see him from that to go into this, and just what happened to him was just it's a horrible thing to happen to him. It's such an unnecessary thing that happened, and it's very sad. To follow it up, I got The Dark Knight Rises in this beautiful steelbook, and it's again I'm trying to get all the Batman, the Dark Knight trilogy in steelbook form, but Batman Begins and The Dark Knight is really expensive, but I did get this one really cheap. You see the inside cover artwork is Bane walking away from Batman's broken mask, and I'm looking for, actually, I might start that rewatch tonight, and if I do, I'm thinking about doing Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. I'm going to do a kind of a review of all three, and maybe do a ranking. Ranking is a definite, the reviews is a maybe. I don't really know about that one yet. To follow it up, I got Justice League, which is, for the first Justice League movie, they really did drop the ball. Aquaman, I think, is a lot of fun in this movie. You got Cyborg, who I think is really nothing in this movie, and The Flash, I don't really like Ezra Miller as The Flash. But you got Wonder Woman, I think she's good in it. Superman, he's kind of all over the place. Woman, he's angry. Woman, Superman's kind of arc in this movie I think is terrible as well. Batman, really bad in this movie, but Ben Affleck's good in it. To follow it up, I do have Aquaman. As I said in Justice League, he was really fun in that movie. His own movie, I thought he was great in. I actually skipped this the first week in the cinema because Justice League had just soured me so much in DC movies. I was like, well, I really go see Aquaman. Well, I might just wait till it comes out. But then I seen it the second weekend because everyone went on about how great it was, and I absolutely loved it. Haven't seen it since I picked it up on Blu-ray. I think this came out in April, May of last year, and I picked it up day one, then I watched it that night, but I haven't actually gone back to it since. But from memory, it was a gorgeous 4K, and I think Jason Momoa is great as Aquaman, and I don't know if they've announced a sequel yet. I assume they have because it did make $1 billion, but hopefully the sequel comes sooner rather than later, because I would not mind an Aquaman 2. Following that up, I've got the Superman box set. I grew up on these movies. I think the first time I seen these I was probably about 6 or 7, and I've loved them ever since. Christopher Reeve is my Superman. I actually watched the first Superman a week or two ago, and it was my first time in years, and I actually forgot how long it is. It's close to about 3 hours long. When I was younger, my favourite always was Superman 4 for some other reason. I don't know. I can't explain why that was my favourite, but now it probably is Superman. I just think it's an iconic movie. Oh, actually, my girlfriend, it was her first time watching it. I think she enjoyed it, but I could tell that it's not the kind of superhero movie she was expecting. I think because it's Superman, I think she expected a bit more action, because there actually isn't any action sequences in this first movie, but it's an absolute classic. To follow up that great box set of movies, I do have the Suicide Squad, which I think the only reason this movie is going to go down in history is because it's the introduction of like Harley Quinn and a lot of these just to like cinematic and live action universe. But I think the movie's a complete mess. I think it's all over the place. I like Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. I like Will Smith's Deadshot. Jared Leto's the Joker. I think he is the worst Joker. But I just feel bad for the guy. I feel bad. Everyone just destroys him. Say he's a terrible actor and all this stuff now, just because of how he was in Suicide Squad. The only reason I actually have this Blu-ray is because when it came out back in 2016, that Christmas, my mom came to me and goes, "What Blu-ray do you want for Christmas?" And I said, "Oh, she gave me Captain America Civil War." That Christmas, I opened up Suicide Squad. Don't know how she did it, but I have Suicide Squad for that very reason. I think eventually I would have picked it up myself, but I wanted Captain America Civil War that Christmas. But what can you do? Next, Batman Begins. As I said with Dark Knight, I don't really have an opinion at these moments because it's been so long since I've seen them. But it's a great introduction to this version of the Batman. Next up, I haven't actually seen this one yet. It literally came in the post today, which kind of also inspired me to do this Blu-ray collection. But it's Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. When this came out last year, I had no interest in it. But then the more I thought about it, it was more like, okay, why don't you have an interest in it? It's Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You love both those things. Why won't you watch this? So I picked it up, and I might watch this tonight. If not tonight, tomorrow. And I probably will do a review of this movie just because the concept alone seems so bonkers. I don't know anything about it. For all I know, they're going to fight, and then they're going to team up and fight the Joker, or they're going to fight, and then they're going to team up and fight Shredder. I don't know how it's going to go, but either way, I'm really excited to watch this movie and see which way it does play out. The only TV series I actually have, The Flash. I think The Flash, I've fallen off it. I gave up probably midway through season 5, and I don't really have any ambition to go back. It just got so formulaic. It got so boring as well. I wish if they cut this down to maybe 15 episodes a season, it would be a lot better, because they would be able to cut out a lot of crap in the middle. It seems like around episode 8, 9 till about episode 20, it's just crap filler, and it's just they figure out something at the very end of these episodes that would help make them kill the bad guy of the season. They'll get it, they'll try it, doesn't work, let's try something again next week. And it just seems like that's what it always is. And then the last episode ends in a big cliffhanger that is always resolved in episode 1 of the following season. So season 1, I only picked it up because back in season 3 or 4, I think whenever, I wanted to rewatch the entire series with my girlfriend. We watched the first episode, and for whatever reason we never went back to it. I think maybe I might pick up season 2, 3 and 4, whatever, all these other seasons. I might pick them up if I can get them cheap enough, but I don't really have any ambition because I haven't gone back and watched season 1. I don't know if I'll get season 2, 3, 4 and 5, and if I ever get them, if I ever will go back and watch them. I don't know, maybe if I get them cheap I will pick them up, but for the moment I'll just stick with owning The Flash. Follow up, got the Joker. Of course, I seen this is my third favourite movie of last year. It's actually fallen down a good bit now. I don't think it's even in the top 10 anymore. And the main reason is the fan base. I think I enjoyed the movie for the first time I seen it, but everyone goes on about how much of a masterpiece it is, and as they're doing it, I'm thinking, well, no, that didn't really work, or no, I didn't like that as much, and everyone going on about it, it's just kind of soured me on this movie. I thought it was good. Joaquin Phoenix was really good. Don't think he deserved the Oscar for it. I do think it was Adam Driver's to win, but of course he didn't win. But Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, he's really good in it. The movie is really fun, but it's not really that original. And as a comic book movie, I don't think it's a good comic book movie, because bar having Gotham, having the Waynes, and having the Joker, it's not really a comic book movie. And I prefer a more comic booky movie rather than this, which is such a grounded, realistic take. It doesn't really seem like a comic book movie, so I'm not really on board with saying it's the best comic book movie of all time. To follow that up, something that's very comic booky, the Lego Batman movie. First time I seen this in cinema, didn't like it. I really did not like it. But then I got it really cheap in Blu-ray. So I rewatched it and I actually really loved it. And every single time I rewatched it, I enjoy it just that bit more. I really like Will Arnett as Batman. I think it's just his voice really works for this kind of version of Batman. Having all the villains there, it really works. As in Joker, he's he's a big baby in this movie. He's moaning. All he wants is Batman to understand that he needs Joker and Joker for Batman. And this movie works for me. I just haven't seen it in a while, but it does work for me. Following that up, got Man of Steel. Henry Cavill, he's a great Superman. I would love to see him again. It doesn't seem like we ever will see him again, but I really enjoy this movie. It's very different from the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, where they're kind of more jolly movies. This is a really realistic take, really dark take on Superman, and for that reason, I actually really do enjoy it. I haven't seen it in a while, probably about a year or so since I've seen it, but it's one of those Superman movies where, just not just Superman, just one of those movies I actually really enjoy. Another one picked up this month, Superman Red Son. I've actually got a movie review of this on my channel already. I think the last couple of days I did it. But I thought the movie was fine. I think the introduction, the start of it, I thought was really slow. A few battles throughout the movie that I thought were interesting. Superman himself, I thought he was good. But the big standout to me was Batman. I thought Batman was the best part about this movie, which usually is the case for these DC properties. Batman's usually the best part about it. Following it up, I do have Shazam, which is my favourite DCEU movie. I'm really excited for that sequel, which, as far as I know, they have it announced for 2021, maybe 2022. And also, we got Black Adam, which was announced 25 years ago. Eventually, we'll get Black Adam. I think that's coming out next year as well. But I'm really excited for the sequels with Black Adam. I love the idea of this movie, the fact that it's just a young kid who's able to turn into a superhero, and it's hilarious. I remember seeing it, I got to see it at an advanced screening like a month or 3 weeks before, and I got to see it. Everyone was going, "Oh well, I see this." Like, yeah, of course you go see it. So I seen it at the fan event, and then I got to see it again opening weekend. I just think it's a lot of fun. Picked it up again day one of release. I've seen it multiple times. I just think it's such a rewatchable DC movie. And then another one, got Wonder Woman. I love this movie. I think it kind of falls flat at the end, where it's kind of it's not really realistic, but it's more grounded. And then at the end, it kind of all over. Towards the end, it just kind of goes all over the place, and the big, huge, massive battles, I kind of lost interest a bit, but I love that steelbook, and I'm really excited for Wonder Woman 1989, which unfortunately has been postponed like everything else, but we are getting in August. As far as I know, it's August. I hope we actually do it this time. Last DC movie, got the Batman anthology. Batman and Batman Returns, of course, are absolute classics. I've seen them multiple times. Batman and Robin, I've only seen it the one time because I've seen it because everyone went on about how terrible it was. So I wanted to see how terrible it actually was, which it actually is kind of terrible. Haven't seen Batman Forever though. It's one of those movies where because it's bad, but I haven't really heard much about it. I haven't really had that ambition to watch it. Maybe one day I'll watch it. It's just I don't really care enough to watch Batman Forever just because it's bad, but also it's not so bad it's good, like where Batman and Robin will come under that. But maybe one day I'll watch Batman Forever just to know I've seen all of the Batman movies, because out of all the Batman movies ever made, that's the only one I haven't seen. Like, I've seen Adam West's Batman, so maybe I might just watch Batman Forever just to kind of get it out of the way. I don't know, maybe. But that is my entire DC collection. If you're new to my channel, make sure you click that subscribe button so you can come back next week when I do my full non-MCU Blu-rays, all my X-Men's, all my Spider-Man. So if you do want to see all that kind of stuff, make sure to click that subscribe button. And as always, thanks for watching.